Welcome to the Coffee House, where we discuss board games, miniatures, and painting them, not necessarily in that order. If any of those things appeal to you, consider hitting that subscribe button down below and giving this video a thumbs up. Seriously helps my channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. Let's jump in. Alright, so today we're going to be tackling another winged beast. This is the Hunting Horror. This is a pretty basic model. We're not really going to be utilizing anything fancy again here. There's going to be a little bit of dry brushing, a little bit of wet blending on the wings, but if you've been following along and watching my previous videos, none of these things are new, and hopefully you've seen that none of these are hard techniques. Now, in terms of color, this is, again, very plain, very basic model. I did what I can to kind of bring it to life a little bit, make it pop a little bit more, but following the artwork in the game, it's not overly bright, and this is a really quick paint. So without me rambling too much, let's jump right in. So as you can see, we've gone ahead and primed our model in all gray, 100% coverage, and we're going to take mummified grime. We're going to load it on a big bristly brush, and we're just going to start slathering it on the model. About 95% of this model is going to be covered in this color, so you don't have to be overly careful, and you want to get this done as quickly as possible. Go ahead and get both sides of that tail. And then we're going to move on to the main carapace of the model using the exact same color. Again, we're going heavy with it because this has a lot of good little crevices and creases, and we want to make sure that paint pools in there. Get around the mouth. Get those little spiny bits up there. And do the exact same thing on the other side. Get the face and head. And in between those wings. Get a smaller brush now, and we're going to do this middle trunk right here, leaving those others two untouched. So then we're going to move to Desolate Brown. This is going to be the primary wing color, those fleshy bits. So just like we did with the Byakhee, if you watched that episode, we're going to get these spiny bits in that mummified grime, and we're not going to be careful, and we're going to spill that over onto the fleshy bit of the wing itself. And then while that's still wet, once we've done that, we're going to go in there with that Desolate Brown, and we are just going to mix the colors together and let them bleed into each other. Mummified grime. Get it nice and messy in there. Get it on that fleshy bit of the wing. Make sure it's nice and wet for easy blending. And then in with the Desolate Brown. Spread and combine. This is really the only part of the model that requires any kind of skill, and I use that term very, very loosely. Wet blending is a lot easier than it may appear. Just don't be afraid to go for it. You see how far into the wing I pull that mummified grime. You want to make sure you've got good blending coverage. And you're going to repeat the process on the inside of the wing. Now, this is a very tight space. These wings are very much close together. So you don't have to worry about being too overly careful, because the top portion of the wing is the main thing that most people are going to see. So if you mess up, if it doesn't look super pretty, for the most part, it's going to be completely unnoticed. So don't worry about it. Just do the best that you can in such a tight space. I'm a visual learner, which is why I have been lingering so long on these blending shots of the wing. If I see something done again and again and again, it gives me the confidence to do it myself, and when I see it done, it becomes like second nature to me as well. And again, this is pretty much the main part of the model that requires any kind of anything whatsoever. So I just wanted to make sure you see the repetition, you see it done, so that you feel confident and you feel comfortable doing it yourself. Make sure you get the edges of those wings too. A lot of times the paint won't go there on its own. So now you see me holding it really kind of weird to get in there. Good thing that you can move these models, huh? So now we're going to take that same desolate brown and we're going to hit these other two tentacles on the outside. From here we're going to move on to ancient stone, and all we're going to do is we're going to pick out the toothy bits. So we're going to pick out these little claw-like things right here. Get both sides of them. And then we're going to go ahead and pick the teeth around the mouth and protruding from the sides of the head. This is optional. You don't have to do this. Most people aren't even going to notice it, but it's there if you want to. Let the paint do the work. Let the weight of the brush do the work. You don't have to apply any pressure whatsoever to pick out these teeth. Doing my best to keep it in focus. Got these little ones poking out the side of the head. And when you have a model that's as basic as this in terms of coloring, you want to get out the details as much as you can. So these front claws we're just coating in that desolate brown as well. We're going to move on to a desert yellow, and we're going to be dry brushing with it. So you're going to get it on your brush and you're going to rub off the excess on a paper towel until there's barely anything left on it, and then you're just going to move across the model back and forth, and that desert yellow is going to pick up all the ridges, all the raised surfaces, all the sharp edges, just to add a little bit more extra something to this model to create a little bit more texture, a little more contrast, a little more variation to bring this model to life. We're going to switch to demonic yellow, and we're just going to pick out these little eyes. So just like when you were picking out the teeth, you're just going to get a very, very small amount just on the tip of that brush, and you're just going to give it a little bitty dab. No pressure, not a lot of paint. Let the paint do the work, let the brush do the work. You're barely going to be touching that surface. You might have to dab it a few times. That's totally okay. And all that's left is we're going to black the base. So we're going to use a matte black, and we're going to black the entire top portion of the base and the rim along the sides. And if you followed along, your models are going to end up looking something like this. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this week's episode. I told you this one was fast, easy, quick, and I did everything that I could to really kind of make these models pop and catch your eye a little bit. I hope you've been enjoying these videos. I hope you're following along. I hope you're painting along. And most importantly, I hope that you're having fun. If you're doing any of those things, you might consider checking out my Patreon, link down below. For about the price of a cup of coffee, you help me keep my lights on and ensure that these videos keep cranking out, and I sincerely appreciate it. Shout out to all of my patrons, especially my top tiers, Dan, Steven, Tyler, JB. I seriously appreciate you guys. Couldn't do it without you. So again, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week. Appreciate you.